Over 30 and feel like the more you try, the more stubborn those love handles get. I got you covered with these precise steps that you want to start taking action on right away in order to get the body back that you maybe once took for granted. And if we haven't met yet, my name's James Hesling, performance nutritionist and executive performance coach. Let's jump in. The first thing you need to do is get clear with the severity of your situation. What I mean by this is, a lot of the time we have our head in the sand about actually what our current state of physique, our current state of emotional health, mental health actually is. So the first thing I want you to do is look at yourself in the mirror. Who do you see looking back at you? Are you happy with not just what you see physically, but who you see emotionally and mentally? Because right now, if you're watching this video, the likelihood is there's a discrepancy between how you perceive yourself and the reality that is looking back at you. The next step is understanding the reality of how busy your lifestyle is. In the past, you maybe had more free time, whereas now you're in your 30s, you've maybe got a partner, you've maybe got kids, you've got a career, your time is limited. So what we want to do is understand the pockets of time and the pockets of headspace and energy you've got available. We've got to use that resource every single minute like it matters. So far now we understand the severity of where you're at physically, mentally and emotionally. And we can now also appreciate the lack of time that you've got available. What we are now going to do is start looking at some very specifics, starting with your breakfast. Long gone are the days where you're having cereal or just toast for breakfast. We want to eat like an adult. We want to eat like a high performer now. And your breakfast is going to be very important if we're going to see it and we're going to use it as the meal that sets you up for high energy consistently throughout the first part of the day. Because otherwise what tends to happen is you get to lunchtime, your energy starts to drop, you pour yourself another cup of coffee, and you then just start grabbing and going. You get your DoorDash, you get your Uber Eats, and everything just goes downhill from there. So if we want to win the day, we've got to win the morning. Now, this is what I want you to start thinking about when it comes to breakfast. It's not just about having toast or cereal or just protein. I want you to build and create a breakfast that has protein, that has carbohydrates, that has fiber. Because when we start to include all of these different macronutrients and micronutrients, what happens is we create texture within the meal, different textures. And when we consume that, when we're digesting that, that is going to help keep you fuller for longer and help keep you satisfied for longer. Here's one of my go-to favorite breakfasts that I recommend for every high performer. It literally takes a minute or two to prepare the night before. It's 200 grams of Greek yogurt. It's 75 grams of porridge oats, 200 grams of frozen berries, and it's 200 ml of milk. Just put that in a bowl or in a pot the night before. 2 minutes later, you're done. The next morning, your breakfast ready to go. And this is something that will increase your protein intake throughout the day, your fiber intake throughout the day, and it will set you up for a good portion of the day. And if you like fasting or you're wondering about the benefits of fasting, I talk about that in my next video. Next up is all about your fluids. I want more hydration, less caffeination. All too often, as high performers and as busy professionals, we are chasing the caffeine cup after cup after cup. Whereas actually what I want you to do to begin with, I want you to prioritize your water with electrolytes. It's going to set you up cognitively for the rest of the day. And being adequately hydrated is going to help reduce tension headaches. It's going to help clear any of that brain fog that you've got going on. And couple that with the breakfast you've just had, you are going to be sharper for the day itself. Caffeine actually has a half-life anywhere between 8 to 10 hours, which means if you're still chasing caffeine and drinking as much as you can mid-afternoon, late into the day, 8 hours, 10 hours after that, you've still got half of that caffeine taking effect, which means it's gonna impact your sleep. So what I advise you do is don't have caffeine after midday. Now to begin with, this might be a little bit of a struggle if you're anything like I used to be, but you will benefit from it as soon as you get over those jitters initially from pulling it back. The next one, we've already mentioned it, sleep. The biggest supplement, the most important legal supplement that you could ever have, even though it's not really a supplement, is adequate sleep. It's the one thing that high performers wear as a badge of honor. is how little they sleep. But actually, if we're looking to perform consistently at the highest level that we are capable of, and I assure you are capable of so much more than you currently realize, regardless of where you are in your journey, sleep is the one thing that will unlock those next levels. Let's use the tool of inversion. If you didn't sleep well, how would you feel? Tired, lethargic, maybe some tension headaches. You might get a little bit more hungry, more cravings, you chase the sugar, your ability to manage emotions, not just yourself, but from those around you, whether it's your family, your colleagues, your teammates. Sleep is the one thing that will unlock new levels. And I mentioned earlier, if you want to win the day, you've got to win the morning. If you want to win the morning, you've got to win the night before. That all starts with a good sleep routine. My biggest advice to you, go to bed at the same time. Don't stay up till God midnight when it's a Friday or a Saturday, just because it's the end of the work week. We're not children anymore. We're not teenagers. Build the routine, build the structure that's going to suit you to perform, not just the next day, but every single day. Because a high performer typically isn't 9 to 5 anymore. It's on your mind all the time. You've got calls coming through, you've got messages to reply to, you've got emails to respond. We've got to be mentally in a place where we can perform to a higher level, not just one day a year, but 365. And sleep is going to be the most important factor in achieving that for you. The next one, which is going to absolutely support your fat loss, lift heavy. When you're exercising, I don't want you thinking about cardio all the time. What I want you to do is build some muscle. It's going to be better for your joints, it's going to be better for your muscles, and actually building more muscle tissue on your body will actually create more calorie expenditure, because the more muscle you build, the more energy your body requires to function day to day. So not only are you going to look better, not only are you going to feel more confident, also it will help burn more body fat too. I want you to diarize when you're going to the gym, just like you would any other meeting in your calendar. You already know your time is very limited. So just one intentional workout a week over the year, that's 52 intentional workouts. That is going to make such a difference. So don't have the expectations that we touched on earlier about what you can't do or what you want to do. Look at what is appropriate given your time and lifestyle right now and utilize that. The next one, adequate protein. I want you to consume 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight every single day. That is going to put you in a high rate of protein each day, which is going to maximize your gut health, your recovery, your skin health, your hair health, your immune system. It's going to keep you functioning and thriving in the best possible way. And because we're going to start lifting some heavy weights, it's going to support the muscle growth as well for that too. Another benefit of high protein is it keeps you fuller for longer. And because we're going to be performing at a higher level day to day, and we're going to be losing body fat, being fuller for longer is the ultimate win. Because it means you're going to snack less. It means you're going to consume fewer calories. When it comes to protein, try and space it out throughout the day. We've already gone through a high protein breakfast, and let's say, for example, you've got another 2 meals and perhaps a snack later on. Make sure you've got that protein throughout each feeding that you're having. Now, there's no perfect science around how many meals you should be having, but what I do want you to do is prioritize having protein with every single serving that you have. Just as a little side note on protein, you might have worked out just how much protein you should be consuming every day, and right now you might be nowhere near that amount. That's okay. What I want us to think about is how do we incrementally build our protein intake and maximize and master these steps that I'm going through day after day, week after week. And to begin with, that might just simply start with making sure you're having an adequate breakfast. And then the next step might be a week or two later, making sure that you're having more of a substantial protein source with your lunch. It might simply be going from a regular chicken breast to a large chicken breast, because the difference in those might be a further 15 or 20 grams of protein. So rather than trying to overhaul and change everything at once, look at where you're at right now, build from there. That's the key to long-term success. And last but not least, remember your why. We started off with understanding exactly where you are right now, the severity of the situation. It's very important that you remember how that makes you feel. And it's also important to connect to and imagine and visualize where you want your physical, mental, and emotional health to go. What typically happens is, and one of the reasons why you might be feeling the way you do now, is because we think and understand how we feel, say stressed, frustrated, tired, and we use that emotion to determine how we act. We drink, we indulge, we forget about what we're doing, which means we therefore forget about our goal. What I want you to do is I want you to flip it, because I always want you to remember your why, hone into your goal, because if we remember the goal, that can therefore determine how we act and we appreciate how we feel. Then what will happen is once you keep to the plan, follow through with this plan, you then change your emotion because you start to feel proud. You then start to get more energy back again. You then get better sleep. And if we've got consistent energy, consistent hydration, and appropriate sleep, we then increase our baseline level of health, of well-being. So then the risk of you actually dropping down into those, I just can't be bothered mindsets becomes fewer and fewer and fewer. So there we have it. Those are some quick fire steps that will help fat loss and performance increase for you if you're in your 30s and beyond. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.